Ross here, we can start.
Ricky aren't here, we can't have court.
If Ricky or Ross in here, we can't start.
Good morning, everybody. I'd like to welcome you to the Pulaski County Fiscal Court. As is customary, we like to open our court meetings with the Pledge of Allegiance. I've asked today our jailer, Anthony McCullum, if you'd lead us in the pledge. All rise, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. First item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from our previous meeting. You all received a copy of those. Are there any changes, or we'll take a recommendation to approve them if you don't?
Motion.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Have no old business on the agenda. We do have a few items of new business. First, I've got a couple proclamations we'd like to make, and I'm excited to make one of these proclamations, actually both of them, but one of them in particular for our county here. We've got with us today is Coach Stephen Butcher from the Southwestern Lady Warriors, who, as you know, are going to go to Rupp Arena on Thursday to compete in the state tournament. And this is their first ever region championship, so congratulations, Coach. And because of that, I've got a proclamation that says, I, Pulaski County Judge Executive Steve Kelly, along with the Pulaski County Fiscal Court, we call upon our community to observe Thursday, March 14th, 2019 as Lady Warrior Basketball Day, recognizing all past and present Lady Warriors and all their many accomplishments, culminating in participating in the first ever KHSAA Girls High School Basketball Tournament. So we'd like to proclaim that. Coach, if you'd come up, we'd like to get a picture with you, and we'll sign this proclamation if that's all right. Tell you what, let's get everybody in the back. Once you come around the back, we'll all get together. It might be easier. Let's get a group picture, and then I'll sit down and sign one if you'd like here. Come on. Congratulations.
Count of three. 1, 2, 3.
Can we get one with me sitting down and signing here? Y'all squeeze in.
Butcher's retired from coaching, by the way. He don't look that old. So.
Right, so we're going to present that to you. Yeah, let's congratulate you. Good luck on Thursday. What time are you going to come watch?
We play at 6:30.
6:30.
Take it if we can get it.
All right.
Thank you all.
Proud of you. And then next, then I've got from Department of Forestry, John Mink. Is here today. We're going to have a proclamation that we're going to proclaim April 5th, 2019 as Arbor Day, all right, in Pulaski County. So I urge all citizens to participate in the observance of this day by planting trees to beautify our county and to focus attention on our great natural resource, which is our forest. Mr. Mink, if you'd like to come up, we'll let you have a picture, and you can send that into the newspaper or whatever publication you like. Come on, guys. Arbor Day.
Photography work in, boys.
Okay. Count of three. 1, 2, 3.
I'll sign this for you. If you want to pull a chair, we'll get one more signature. Everybody ready? Oh, 1 minute. Today is the 12th day, right? All right. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate your time. All All right, next then, not on the agenda, but I've got Martin Hatfield would like to present new business to us here.
Yeah, this is another child support issue. As you all may or may not know, my child support staff, for pension purposes, are classified under the KERS, Kentucky Employee Retirement System. As you all know, that doubled last year, the contribution doubled last year, as opposed to the CERS, the County Employee Retirement System, which is also going up, but it's on a graduated basis. So right now, we use the CPA firm of Evans Harville, and we have since I've been in office, to take care of doing our payroll and all of our pension contributions to the state under our KERS system. We've been told by child support that we can, that the personnel folks we've always labored under the belief that once you made a choice, you couldn't change that choice from KERS to CERS. We've now been told that there may be a window here where we can actually change over to CERS if we want to. I've spoken with Joan about it. It won't cost the county anything, but it'll be a little bit of work with no pay.
Yeah, well.
But, so what we would like to do with the court's blessing is we would like to switch our employees over. Again, this will have to be approved by the Personnel Cabinet, but we'd like to switch them over to the CERS, County Employment Retirement System. It'll save us money in our operational budget. The way it practically will function is you all, the county, will write the checks, and we'll just reimburse you for whatever costs are associated with personnel payments and pension payments. So it's revenue neutral for the county. It doesn't cost you anything, but it will be a little more work because you would be putting them on the county's payroll. But again, with me reimbursing the county out of my budget. So, but it will, just like the rent issue that we talked about back in December, this will actually help free up more money in my operating budget for my staff. So just wanted to get the court's blessing to do that if it works out.
Do we have to vote on that?
It won't hurt. I always figured.
I'll make a motion, we do that. Second.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
Does it change the individual employees?
No, their
as far
status.
as their percentage or whatever they get? Okay.
No. Well, no, it as far as the pension,
Yeah,
no.
as far as what they get for retirement?
No,
Won't
it
change
won't.
any of that?
No, not at all. And they don't, even though the county's administering the payroll, they still function under my personnel policy, and they're still basically my employees. So you don't assume any liability.
And I think the question Mark had was the one similar. You and I spoke, and I said I couldn't remember it. So just for instance, if you have an employee that's a Tier 2, if they switch, they will continue to be a Tier 2 because they're not considered a new employee in
Correct.
CERS.
Correct.
Okay, because you don't want to
No.
change the benefits of any of your
not at all.
employees.
We've got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed?
Thank you
Motion
all.
carried. Okay, next item then, we've got a couple of resolutions here. First resolution is a resolution adopting and approving the execution of rural secondary program agreement between Fiscal Court and the Commonwealth of Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, Department of Rural and Municipal Aid, and accepting all roads and streets referred to therein as being part of the county road system. This is the one we do every year, right?
Yep, you gotta have a roll call on the resolution. Motion to accept.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any further discussion? Let's have a roll call vote, please.
Harpen,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Wilden,
Yes.
Branshaw,
Yes.
Crump.
Yes.
Motion carries. This is not a resolution, though. This is okay, next then, we have an agreement between Kentucky Transportation Cabinet and Pulaski County to repair 2 bridges located, one on Lower Line Creek and one on Charles Elgin Road. The amount is for $64,000 rural secondary funding. So we need to have an agreement to begin work on those. Pulaski?
Something to, before, I just caught, the resolution that you are voting on is correct with Lower Line Creek and the bridge on Charles Elgin. But this is one of the reasons why we didn't do it last court meeting, is the agreement was wrong, and this is the wrong printed agreement. It's actually up to $80,000 reimbursement, not $64,000.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that, because I know budget.
Yeah, and also it's not Woodstock Pallet Mill Road, so disregard the agreement. We had the correct agreement in another email, so the resolution is correct. If that makes sense.
So are you going to approve the agreement with those changes?
Yes.
Okay, so it'd be how much?
$80,000.
80,000. That's on paragraph 1. Have you got a clean copy of this?
I do, and I'm
Well, you
trying
don't
to
need it
get-
now, but, and then, what was the other change? Woodstock Pallet?
Yeah, it's not Woodstock Pallet Mill Road, it's Charles Elgin Road.
You all clear on those changes? And now I'd entertain a motion to accept the agreement with changes. We have a motion.
Second.
And a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right. Next item then will be our department reports. I've got Burnett, County Clerk, you have a report to make?
Good morning.
Morning.
Think everyone's glad to see me today.
Of course.
Always.
You got a big check.
Joan is, I
I'm
know.
thrilled.
She's jumping up and down over there. No, I'd like to ask the court to accept my excess fees check. And with great pleasure, I'll have to say that amount is $691,850.28. And out of the budget of $20,008,516.79, I think we've done real well. And
You
I'd
do a
like to
great
thank
job.
all of my staff, first of all, for helping me with this, and the county citizens of Pulaski County, and of course you guys, the fiscal court. So thank you for all your help and just everything you do to help me out.
Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you, Lynn. Do we have a motion to accept this?
Motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Linda.
Thank you.
Next will be our sheriff. Sheriff, you got big shoes to fill right now.
Yeah, I doubt I like you as much, do I? No. Okay.
Good morning.
Morning.
I also have funds to remit. We have reconciled all of our accounts. And in addition to the $100,000 that we remitted at the beginning of the year, I have an additional $82,434.59 additional to remit this morning. We are up $9,178.49 over last year's funds that we remitted. And during the last 4 years, I'm proud to say that we've remitted $711,991.87 to the fiscal court in excess fees. I'm just proud of my staff and for helping make that possible. And we've worked hard to tighten our belts and be good stewards of the taxpayers' money. So I guess I'm asking for a motion to accept
We
that.
appreciate all you do, and we notice that y'all are being good stewards, so we thank you. But entertain a motion
Motion.
to accept this check for excess fees in a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
Let there be light.
Thank you. Aaron from 911, you got a check for us?
Just sit down.
I just need to ask permission to advertise for a full-time position at 911. It'll probably be a dispatch position as of right now. Try to get that taken care of, get somebody lined up for that position.
Motion to advertise.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any further discussion?
And you know you can't replace Earl Hicks, so.
That'd be hard to do.
All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. I'll make mine here in a little bit.
See what happens when people don't bring checks.
Just so you all know, we're thankful that Aaron's with us today. He had an accident a few weeks back and nearly lost his thumb. So thankfully, everything's going well and doing all right.
So when he calls to ask for a hand, we ask him to be more specific.
Next, it'll be our road department. Eugene, are you coming today or Jordan's?
He keeps pawning it off on me. The only thing I've got today is just a road work request.
Second.
We got a motion and a second to approve the road work request. Any further discussion? All in favor? You opposed? You don't have the rock?
That'd be for next court meeting.
Okay, well, while we're in road, I've got a recommendation, a couple of recommendations actually I'd like to bring to the court regarding personnel. First, of course, we moved John Floyd up into, up into the shop from the 5th District mower. And I would recommend we hire Charles Burton to be mower in the 5th District.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Next item then, we've got Nate Boyd currently in the secretary position there at the road department. And with Earl Hicks retiring, we're going to be looking at some organizational changes, but I'd like first to recommend that we move Nate over into 911 to fill that position. Then I think Aaron's going to come subsequently with some organizational changes in the next few weeks. But I'd recommend we move Nate Boyd over to that position, and I believe the salary is the same, if I'm not mistaken.
Motion.
Okay, it's close to the same salary with the Earl Hicks
We've got
position
a ton of
and Nate.
people. I don't know what everybody's salary is. I don't know what my salary is.
Okay, so I've got a motion.
Second.
Second, any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? And while we're on personnel, I've got one more part-time position for our park. I'd like to go ahead and recommend that we bring Abby Foreman on as part-time seasonal to help out as we transition, get ready for the park to open.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
What's the Corps saying about the water level?
There's the water going out the fall.
When will the park be down before we can work on it?
We were on a conference call with them Friday, and they said at the current 60 cubic feet, whatever, it'll take 60 days to get down to summer pool. That's if we don't have any weather. So, at that being said, we're in the process of cleaning up right now areas that we can. It's dropping probably about 3 foot a day down there at the park. So hopefully, we typically open 1st of April, maybe will be, majority of our sites will be open.
Good.
Because trust me, people are excited wanting to come down there now. Volunteers to come help, dying to get in the park.
That's good.
We're gonna have to redo any of the electricity.
Well, probably not. If we had known the level of flooding, we should have took the breakers out and put it's a type of grease on it. But all we'll have to do is take them out, dry it off, because it's mostly stainless steel and copper. Maybe replace some of the GFI breakers. When we turn the water back on, that's another thing that we may have some of the faucets that's come loose because of the amount of water. But other than that, it's just typical general maintenance that we're already prepared to do.
Good.
I tried to get one of them out there in a boat and a snorkel, but they'd wait.
I want to make a comment on the same lines as, I was out at Omega Park over the weekend, and the residents out there, you know, they're already out there cleaning up Omega Park boat ramp and stuff like that to get it ready, so I just want to say thank you for them volunteering, so.
Okay, we did meet last week with several members from tourism, from Hal Rogers' office. We had some local pastors in a meeting, trying to think who all was there, talking about a plan for cleanup, and we do have one date currently identified, March 23rd. We will be doing a community-wide cleanup at Burnside Island State Park, so if you can make that, that'll be the first of a few community efforts to clean up our boat ramps and along our lake. So if you can be a part of that, March 23rd, I don't know the time, but I'm assuming it'll probably be around 9 in the morning to get started. But we'll, hopefully the newspaper will find out that time for us and correct me on that if I'm wrong. So that'll be the first one, and then we'll, keep your eyes and ears open. We'll have several opportunities for our residents to jump in and try to make a difference, because we're proud of our lake, and this is a good opportunity. As bad as it is, it's a good opportunity to clean up our lake, and while it's at its high water mark, hopefully we can get it cleaned and won't have to deal with this for several years, to the extent that we are. So anyway, that'll be a good opportunity for us as a community to pull together and work together. All right.
Are we gonna send the road department with a backhoe or something down there that day too, or?
If you all would like to do that, we can certainly make those resources available.
At the
I
park?
think they'll need a backhoe at the island.
Yeah.
There's all that driftwood and stuff. I mean, they'll need a piece of equipment.
The one thing that you've seen pictures of more than anything is that Waitsboro. I mean, it's
Yeah, it's awful.
2 foot deep.
Yeah.
And we told them that we'll be willing to do anything in any of our docks to help. Even Danny Maston, said, hey, I've got dumpsters, just,
Yeah.
and
I'd say Anthony could bring some inmates. I mean, can you do that?
We've actually got, working on some inmates to work the skid steer. The skid steer has a big claw that reaches up and picks up. We've actually got someone working with inmates now, getting them trained to work that skid steer. So hopefully within the next couple of weeks, we'll have some people trained where they can actually use that, so they'll be
Awesome.
able to.
Yeah.
I've even recommended Judge Kelly to do a log rolling, call it Kelly's
Pass.
Would Waitsboro be a lower priority since they have already
They've already closed.
closed for the year? Would that,
But they still want to get the ramp going.
I mean, get the ramp going, but just
Well, I guess the correct thing is saying to everyone, because you all, as fiscal court, get phone calls about it all the time, I just want the citizens to understand we're willing to help anywhere we can, when we can.
Yeah.
I think we have 12 of docks that we maintain of our own. Then we have like at Omega, Buck Creek, different places like that we help when we can.
Do we have one person people and volunteers can contact to put this group together that's gonna help out for anybody has questions or anything like that? Is there one coordinator? Because I know there's a couple nonprofit organizations that want to get involved too.
Right now, I guess the best contact would be Tammy Wilson or Tammy Nazario with Pride. She's the main contact, and then she's working with tourism and several others to coordinate everything.
So do we have a phone number for her or
I
anything?
have that number, but it's, I'm sure if you Google Pride, Kentucky, you'd find her number.
Danny probably has it.
Who?
Danny Maston would
Yeah.
probably have it.
Yeah. Is he all right? Well, he's not here today. Anybody talk to him?
He's speaking today in Hazard.
Okay.
Next item then would be our treasurer. Joan, you've got a few items for us.
I do. The first item, you should have received your bill list.
I've got a copy of the bill list. Any questions, or would entertain a motion to approve it?
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
The next item would be the bank reconciliation for the month of February. As you can see on this, it looks a little better than last month.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Carries.
And then I have also passed out transfers, interfund transfers in the jail. This is basically a housekeeping type of.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Approve the jail fund transfers. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
And that would be all I have, except to say, Coach Butcher, let's go out with a bang this year. I know this is your last year. Good luck. I've watched these girls play for years, and looking forward to watching them this week.
All right. Next item then will be our citizens' comments. Today we have Kara Hawk with the March of Dimes. Would like to speak to the court. Kara, if you don't mind.
Thank you. Judge County Magistrate, Mr. Hatfield, and guests, I'd like to thank you for this opportunity to come and speak to you on behalf of the March of Dimes Lake County chapter. Also to introduce myself, if you don't know me, my name is Kara Hawk, and I am an employee with the March of Dimes. The March of Dimes is one of the most well-known and identified nonprofit foundations currently in the U.S. The March of Dimes was originally founded to fight polio. I don't know if y'all know that. It was founded by Franklin Delano Roosevelt, one of the only foundations in the United States founded by a sitting United States president. Little known fact. The March of Dimes was originally founded to fight polio, but after that was controlled by the invention of a vaccine, the vaccine that was created by money raised by the March of Dimes, then they turned their attention to another killer, and that was premature birth. And that is something that we have been fighting ever since. The new medical director of the March of Dimes is Dr. Gupta. He was, I know that sounds like a foreign name, but he's actually from West Virginia. And he was the state health officer for West Virginia. Dr. Gupta led that state's opioid crisis response and launched a number of pioneering public health initiatives. Also, during his tenure, he decreased the number of expectant mothers smoking by 25%. That's big. That's really big. When you got 25% with any demographic, you're talking a lot of numbers, especially. So that's something that we really appreciate. We are glad to have someone like that that understands the challenges faced by mothers and infants in our region. He, along with the other staff of the March of Dimes, has identified 3 target areas that the foundation is now going to tackle. One, we're going to still be looking at and working on prematurity. Prematurity is still the #1 killer of newborn infants. Number 2, maternal mortality. This is something that I think you all will be as shocked as I was. The number of women dying shortly after giving birth has doubled in the United States in the last 2 decades. The highest rate of any developed country. I was looking at the statistics, it blew me away. The closest is 9%, we're 25. That's crazy. The opioid crisis also is something that he wants to turn his attention to, as does everyone else. We are all concerned about this. This affects us all. We can all agree this tragedy is affecting far too many expecting mothers and their children. Each year we are honored to host our marquee event, the March for Babies. This year it will be hosted at the property of Grace Baptist Church on Saturday, April 27th at 10 a.m. The March for Babies is a fundraiser where teams walk to raise money for research done at 5 prematurity centers located throughout the United States. The closest one of those to us would be Cincinnati, and to supply funds for staff to advocate full-time for the laws and policies that will benefit all mothers and babies. Historically, this has been a major event in our community, and I'm here today to see that we can continue that history. I have 2 asks from you today. I would like to ask the county to show their support by matching the City of Somerset's donation of $3,000. And most importantly, I would like to ask the county register a team to walk to also show their support. We also all have talents, time, and treasures, but sometimes the best way to show your support is by donating your time. Each year we honor an ambassador family that has walked the journey of having premature born child. This year's ambassador family is Jason and Megan Weatherford. Jason is a manager for the City of Somerset Parks and Recs Department, and Megan is her father, Senator Rick Derkler's Shelter Insurance Company. So, and I have passed around, did everybody get one of the little brochures? That is a sponsorship brochure. Basically, with that ask, you would not just be giving money and nothing coming back to you. There would be logo on everything that we do. The community would know that the government of the Pulaski County government does support healthy babies and mothers, and that's basically it. Any questions for me?
When would, if we did commit to that, when would that donation be needed? When's the deadline for that donation?
Well, it's kind of flexible. With a signed agreement saying that, a sponsorship agreement, anytime this year, basically. So we try to make it easy, but it would need to, something would need to be in writing so they don't just think of it. And the government, they want to know it's legit. So as long as you would sign that or somebody would sign that saying, yes, in fact, then it could be anytime this year.
And the reason I'm asking too,
Fiscal year,
our fiscal year will end and we'll be in our new budget shortly, and so it might be a better time for us to talk about it during our budget workshops.
Yeah.
You're saying from January to January year. I'm saying you're saying from
The end
January.
of year is January, yes.
Our beginning of year will be July 1st, so.
So that would be fine. That would be fine. Yes. Any other questions for me?
Do we have a team volunteer captain? Team captain, volunteer, looking around.
It can be anyone in the county too. I think, and that's something else, you all can go to marchforbabies.org and sign up, and that's something else I would like to, share with the gallery as well. I think it's good for churches, youth groups. It's a great team building exercise, people coming together, just like you were talking about the cleanups, great opportunity to work together. This is another one of those.
I can barely walk upstairs.
Truly a good cause, and we'll work on this for you and try to make that happen.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kara. All right, and I just want a couple of things. I want to recognize, Chris Girdler with SPEDA is with us today. And Chris, we have our department reports. I'd like for you to be a regular spot if you ever have anything to report. We'd certainly welcome you to be able to approach the court. But, our department heads contact Amber throughout the week and set up to be on the agenda if you'd like to do that. Certainly appreciate you coming. Folks, we've got some neat things going on with SPEDA, this new Economic Development Authority. And also our mayor is here with us today. Thank you, Mayor, and Jeff for coming and being a part of our court today. You're always welcome here. I love the spirit of unity that I see in our cities and our counties right now, so thank you all. Y'all have anything further?
I'd like to say thank you to the jailer for letting the inmates out and cleaning up the roadways. Public's beginning to talk about it. I know they've worked hard in my district, and I appreciate it. And are working.
And I've seen several comments on Facebook attesting to that fact, so people are noticing your efforts.
I'd like to say thank you to the road department. They're out there dealing with all these clogged tiles and culverts and everything else, and they've been pretty busy. So appreciate everything they do.
Thank you all. No further business. I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
A second?
Second.
All in favor? Meeting's adjourned. Thank you all.